The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosensia has got great reviews and even endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7 for family, friends, and loved ones, and for your pets. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia for great merchandise like T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com, and you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you donate today, and I do love coffee. I'll be happy to have one with you. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a DJ, producer, artist, and performer, and upcoming podcast host from Richmond, Virginia, now in Pensacola, Florida. He studied computer networking, and he's also a consultant. We'll talk more about that. He's got some music out there on Spotify. He's got some hits out there. He's got some EPs called Collapse Reality 2, I Am Who I Say I Am, also Dubshine, The Density, and more. And he also got a new release album called Uptous, which also features You're the One, A Better Place, 24 Hours Together, title track, and more. I mean, just an amazing guy. You go to his SoundCloud and everything. Check it out. You'll love his music. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Pensacola, Florida, the amazing multi-talented DJ, producer, artist, and performer, the multi-talented Dubshine, best or better known as Scott Williamson. Scott, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be on your podcast, Mike. You're a great inspiration to me. And it's part of the reason that, I do want to get into podcasting, and I've been kind of working on that. And I've been watching you and just kind of watching how you do things, watching other people as well. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. So appreciate the time that you're giving me today.
Well, it's amazing as well, too. And, I want you to take notes as well, too, while you're talking as well, too. I'm going to give you a quiz after this. So we'll do that. So
cool.
so you're DJ, producer, artist, and performer. You're also an upcoming podcast host. And not only that, you also study computer networking. You're also a consultant for your own firm. And you made the trek from Richmond over to Pensacola. And you also got some great material like the EPs Collapse Reality 2, I Am Who I Say I Am. You also have your latest release, Up to Us, featuring You're the One, A Better Place, and more. And it's on all the streaming platforms. And before getting to all that, Scott, or should we say Dubshine, tell us how you first got started.
Oh, wow. So when I was a kid, really young kid, say around 11, 12 years old, that's when the music really started to be kind of an interest. Before that, it was science fiction movies. Like, I was a big Star Wars fan, aliens, anything outer space, anything out of this world. I was really into that stuff. Always into technology. My dad was a computer programmer, showed me a lot of cool stuff where he worked at. So I was just fascinated with technology, the future. And so when I started listening to music, the kind of music that really sort of resonated with me was this new 80s new wave music, this new wave sound, the synthy, futuristic. They used to call it electro funk back in the old days. I don't even know if they labeled it that at the time, but it became to be known as electro funk. These songs sort of had a futuristic theme to them. So you had songs like Planet Rock. You had songs like Pac Jam, which was sort of a play off Pac-Man, the video game.
Oh, my favorite. Yes.
Yeah, all of those sort of things. The list goes on and on and on and on with those kind of tracks and songs and everything like that. So it was really fascinating to me as just a little kid. And so I bought these records. I'd go out and cut grass and make money, buy these records, just collect them. Bought turntables. I started learning about the hip hop culture, which was really kind of connected to that kind of electro music at the time. It was sort of a twist, because hip hop at the time was sort of recorded with live instruments, live instrumentation, guitar players, drums. Maybe they would use like old breaks from disco songs or funk songs like James Brown, things like that.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. And then around 1982, 83, they started introducing this more Kraftwerk sound, thanks to people like producers like Arthur Baker, John Roby, Africa Bambaataa, Man Parrish, people like this. They were really into electronics, and they started to kind of, mix that sound together. And when I heard these records, Mike, it really resonated with me just as a kid. So again, I collected them. I became a DJ. I started playing this kind of music. As you probably know, this music evolved throughout the 80s. The 80s was a very time of change. Like, you had so many different genres coming up. Punk rock started getting popular. New wave music like Duran Duran, all of these sort of groups. Hip hop was going through so many different changes. And I was right there. I was DJing at my high schools, DJing at block parties in Richmond, Virginia, when I was living in Pensacola. I used to live in Pensacola before, moved to Richmond when I was in high school, started DJing, block parties, military bases, clubs. I went to adult clubs as a teenager, DJing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow. So I was just in the scene in Richmond all over the place. And and so I was just collecting records, getting familiar with the music, just started just immersing myself into that music. I loved it. So I decided, you know what? I want to create this kind of music. I want to make this kind of music. My brother and sister are performers. They're singers. My brother sang with Atlanta Rhythm Section.
Oh my goodness.
Like
that's one of my faves. So Into You. That's one of my favorite groups.
Yeah.
Southern rock. I love those days. Wow. You're drawing a flashback for me. This is great.
Yeah. So we were worlds apart as far as musical taste, obviously, but I loved it. I loved Southern rock. I loved soul music, jazz, everything that my brother loved. I just loved electronic music, and I just wanted to take that, seeing my brother perform, seeing him, do his thing. I got inspiration from that, and I wanted to direct it into my musical interests. And I did. I started producing records, producing songs in Richmond, Virginia, putting stuff out. And it's just been from there. It's just been that little kid in me, that little child in me. can never go away. I just have to create more music. I'm still in tune with the latest electronic music. It's just a love that never dies. So
it sounds like it too. Now, your next assignment is mix Kraftwerk with Leonard Skinner. That's your next project. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That'd be awesome.
As soon as you mentioned Kraftwerk, a lot of these things came up. Audubon was one of my favorites, and I listened and I was like, oh my God, it's like you're better hopping in a Volkswagen and getting on the Autobahn and see how fast you can go with that bugger, or whatever you drive. And that was our big thing. But then when it comes to all the hip hop and everything else, some of the earlier days, who are some of your other favorite hip hop artists growing up, even from like the old school?
Oh man. So again, Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force got me. They sort of pulled me in with that song Planet Rock. And then all of their releases after that, they got me. It had that Arthur Baker, John Roby sound of electronics. But then as it went on, I started falling in love with lyricists like Eric B. Rakim, Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel before that.
Grandmaster Flash. That was a name I was going to bring up. And he was like, what? The grandfather of rap, along with, let's see, there was another one. Who was it? Grandmaster Flash, and there was Sugar Hill Gang. Curtis Blow. Oh my God, he's one of my favorite. Yes, and then Run DMC really just hit through the roof. And they say you talk too much, you better shut up. which I don't shut up. I know you don't, but
nope, can't do it.
No. Sorry guys, that doesn't apply. But of course, with some of the other hip hop and of course Southern rock, yeah, Leonard Skinner and everything else. What are some other genres that you really got into, and especially some of the artists?
Yeah, so I got into just about anything that Teddy Riley would produce. I used to love his records. They did really well at the clubs. I was DJing at these military clubs, people from all over. I started getting into, I was really keyed into the production, really heavily. Like I pay attention to people who are producing these records. Like I said, Teddy Riley. You can look at people, and then house music came out. House music. So I started listening to, Todd Terry. So many artists, Masters at Work. Producers like Man Parrish were active, throughout the 80s. So many producers and people that really keyed it in. So I was in the R&B. Anything sort of upbeat dance floor related was my thing. I just loved to dance. In the 80s, I was one of these kids that were out there breakdancing and.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like you had a big thing. You had to move like this. You get down, you spin or something, just like that movie Breakdance. I remember that so well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just immersed in the culture, and being a DJ, I was involved so heavily. So. I just couldn't get enough of it. Any record that would come out, back then, the funny thing is back then, a lot of this underground sound, whether it's underground hip hop, dance music, you wouldn't hear this stuff on the radio or the internet like you do now. So there was no real way to listen to it. So I would waste a lot of money at the record stores, just buying records.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably get paid. Go to the store every Saturday, buy about 10 records, maybe 2 jewels were in there. Rest of them were probably garbage, in my opinion. But that's what I did. I just collected wax and records, and it was just that's how I started to know and understand a lot of what I'm talking about. It's just by being involved, and it was a wild time. It was a crazy time, but I loved it. That was my childhood.
And I hope you save your record collection, because vinyl's making a comeback, and the jewels you have could be worth a lot of money, and those so-called not jewels could be worth just as much as well too. It could make a comeback. So don't throw out your vinyl, guys. Even Scott will tell you that. Yeah. So.
Those are jewels, absolutely. And you mentioned Kraftwerk. They came from Germany. Mm-hmm. Shortly after, I did a few things in Richmond, musically. Worked with different rap groups, I worked with a house music producer, Tony Fernandez, who was affiliated with 95 North, which was a huge underground house music artist themselves in their own right. They had tons of hits. After that, I went to Germany. I actually lived in Germany. my job takes me there. You know, I'm like I said, I'm an IT contractor. I had a little consulting firm, and I went to Germany. I worked with NATO headquarters in Belgium for a German company. But while I was there, you know, I met some really super producers. A fella named Kai Portolano, who was a guitar player. He knew my brother, and we actually started a group. My brother actually lived in Germany at the time.
Wow.
That's what brought me there, because I had family there. And my brother was touring with a different group called Sunnyland Blues Band.
Okay.
And he had just got done working with them, and he was looking for a fresh new project. And we hung out. You know, he hadn't seen his little brother in so long. And he was like, yeah, man, let's hang out. Let's do stuff. And we hung out, we talked, and we caught up. And he knew I was into the rap music, and I was a rapper myself. You know, I was doing everything, you know. And he was like, hey, man, you're pretty good. We ought to get together. I could sing, you can rap, and we can get Kai, who's an excellent guitar player, and we could do sort of this Kid Rock type stuff, you know, this kind of like Southern rock with rap. How do you think about that? I was all for it. And we made wonderful music. We cut a nice album, and we were just touring around Europe, you know, just playing at every festival we could and just having a great time. You know, we worked with different record labels. I worked with record labels, XYZ or ZYX, I'm sorry, over in Germany, which was like a dance music label. And I produced some rappers there. Toured with them, like did a few shows at some festivals. So I had a lot of experience doing that, and just a blast, man, just a blast.
And it sounds like it too. Among the countries that you toured and played, besides your native German at the time, what was your favorite country or favorite place to play?
Italy.
Wow.
Is a wonderful place for that, because the crowds are so receptive. And they're so energetic. You know, they have a different sort of energy than, say, Germans or French people. They're more, you know, they tend to be a little bit laid back a little bit, you know, not that they are, but comparatively, if you were to go to an Italian audience, it's just off the wall crazy, you know, and I love that response, because I was a big call and response type of artist. You know, I would be someone who wanted to engage the audience in what was going on. That's how you get people to actually get emotionally sold into you, you know, get them involved.
Yeah.
You know?
And of course they speak with their hands. Everybody knows that they speak with their hands. So
that's right. You know it.
Oh yes. And of course, you know, the thing you did in Germany, throughout Europe as well too. How did the Americans respond with that type of music when you brought it back to the States?
I got nothing but love for it. I mean, you know, when I got back to the States, of course, I didn't have Kai. I didn't have my brother. I didn't have a lot of things. It was just me again. So what I did, Mike, is I started going back into the more electronic music, because it was something that was easy for me to get into. I knew it like the back of my hand. And I knew it was easy for me to be self-sufficient. I wasn't relying on a big studio and musicians and drummers and so many people that I had to pay and come in and produce them and come in and kind of direct the whole thing. I could actually create this stuff with digital interfaces. You know, that's at this point in time, it was like the 2000s. And so I came back to Florida. I was living in Destin, Florida, which wasn't too far from Pensacola, where I was, you know, where I was raised, and started doing music there. And I got in touch with Curtis Urbina. He's another veteran of classic house. He had a legendary Cork Records, and he signed me to his label. You know, we started producing music and just putting out albums and putting out really, really fun, really successful stuff. We were selling units back when people used to actually download the music. Remember that?
I remember downloading the little MP3s and everything else you carried with you. You know, then you went to the iPod, and I got the iPad, and my kids were bugging me. Can you buy me an MP3 player? It's like, it was when it first came out, it was $100 and went to 50, 10, and then you get a dollar store for like $3-5. And then all of a sudden they moved up to like an iPod, which you start for 100, then went down to 50, 10, 5, get a dollar store. Now it's just like, you can just about streamline. You don't have to buy at a store. You can buy online. So it's amazing how technology changes. Unbelievable.
Oh, it was. And it was really changing at a fast rate, because in the 2000s, it was downloads and MP3s, like you say. But then as we started getting into the next decade, we start looking at streaming. YouTube started becoming popular. And then finally Spotify came out, and platforms like that, and iTunes, and people started to not have to buy their music. They could actually just stream their own playlist, which is the new way to actually get your music going. So me and Curtis, we had to kind of revamp and think about our direction, which would be shorter song length, because when kids play a song, they're only interested in like 2-3 minutes. So with the dance music, as you may know, these songs could be like 7 to 10 minutes long. And that was normal, because the DJs, they'd want to mix these things. They'd want to play with them. They're kind of like little sound banks, in themselves. And so they can play with it. But, when you're talking about streaming, you're talking about kids and even adults. They just have a short attention span,
And it's also gotten shorter and shorter as well, too. It's like I did some DJing myself, too. It's just like, a little bit of house, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. And of course, it takes that 7-10 minutes. You have a break. You can get a drink, have a smoke, interact with the fans, or some girl will hit upon you or something. And then, like 10 minutes, like, oh, crap, put another song on and, circular way through, or you can just walk off and dance yourself. But yeah, you're right, though. I've talked about this a lot, and these people I talk to, it's like the attention span has gotten shorter and shorter. Now, artists put out songs about 2 minutes long at the most, 90 seconds. They come out 1 minute songs, even 30-second songs. Nowadays, if you don't hook the kids within like 3 to 5 seconds at the most, you've lost them. That's
right. That's right. And let me say, when I was in Germany, I got married. I met, my wife, and we had a child in Germany. That's part of what brought us over to the States, was for opportunities and things like that. But at that point in time, when I was living in Destin, my wife and we started a company for, I was an IT guy. Again, I was sort of providing the Wi-Fi for the hotels and motels throughout the panhandle of Florida, all the way from Destin to Tallahassee. And so I was doing that. But then, if you remember, there was a big tumultuous event called the BP oil spill back in 2010.
I remember that. Yeah, that was around New Orleans, and killing off the wildlife, the fish and everything. I think all the birds just migrated north, even pelicans, just fled from there, and they fled north where I'm at. And, just a couple miles from my studio, I see pelicans up by a lake, and good thing they don't crap on my yard. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So they're very lovely birds. So it's like, thank God they don't crap like geese where I used to live, but yeah.
Yeah. And the tar balls and all that used to wash up on the beach, and it was just terrible for hotels and motels. So the company that I was working for at the time doing the Wi-Fi, they wanted to relocate me to Atlanta, Georgia. I didn't want to do it. I was actually making more money on the weekend doing the maintenance stuff for the hotels at that point in time.
Wow.
But the problem was, eventually all those hotels and motels affected that business. And so my business went out. And so I was kind of stuck. And at that point in time, BP was settling out of court with folks like that were depending on hotel and motel, or, that sort of industry. And so we got paid out. I think we got paid something like almost $100,000
wow.
from them, and then we took that money and we moved to California, to Southern California, Los Angeles, paid our rent up for a year. I would just contract, my Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi and technology stuff. And I did all of this kind of, I put the trains in the Amtrak train from the Union Station in LA all the way to San Diego. There's this train called the Surfliner train cars. The reason they have Wi-Fi is because they hired me to actually put that stuff into their train cars. So the fact that they have Wi-Fi today is actually thanks to me contracting with them to do that. So that was like a big plus, for me. So that brought me there and got me a lot of opportunities. But the music was even on stronger at that point. I was DJing, going to clubs, in LA, in Orange County, DJing at these different places, still putting out music with Curtis. And we were just really having a ball on that end of it. And it just kind of went from there, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I can imagine you playing some house music. And welcome to Amtrak. Relax with our music. You can enjoy our Wi-Fi and, just stream load. You can listen. You can take pictures and everything. And, speaking of all that, we'll talk about your music as well, too. But first of all, you listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable, custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and Eve Love and enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com or 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast for all kinds of goodies. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. And you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com, at themikewagnershow.com, and your taste buds will love you. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's the multi-talented DJ, producer, artist, and performer, and also studied computer networking and runs a consulting firm. Scott Williamson, best known as Dubshine, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we talked about music. We talked about how you got started. And of course, being on a train, playing music on Wi-Fi and getting people to stream on Amtrak, which, by the way, I'll come on Amtrak and see as well, too. You can get on Wi-Fi, listen to your music. And speaking of your music, you got some great music out there. You got the EPs, Collapse Reality 2, I Am Who I Say I Am, Dubshine, The Density, and more. You also have a new single called Up to Us, along with some others like You're the One, A Better Place, and more. And tell us about some of your works as well, too, including the EPs.
Oh, absolutely. So when I came back to the States, I worked with Curtis. The first thing we did is we put out the I Am Who I Say I Am EP and other tracks along with that into a full album called I Am Who I Say I Am, which was a full 14, 15 track album. Did really good. We did a lot of unique things. I had like tracks with Egyptian music on it, that was really weird but with a, EDM type of beat. And that was really, really cool. I discovered a new sort of sound that was sort of deep and laid back, kind of dark and raw and minimalistic. And it seemed to work. It seemed people were really into that sort of sound. And as things went on, the music industry went that way. It seemed like all of the songs started becoming more raw, minimal, and deep, jazzy, very sparse chords here and there, heavy bass lines, sort of hypnotic. And I just kept on with that sort of direction. And so, I started releasing those things with Curtis, also doing remix projects with other labels as well, labels down in Miami. I met some artists through that who still working with me till this day.
Nice
on stuff. But they would pay me to do remix work. I have a partner in Richmond, Virginia, who I used to do work with back in the 80s and 90s. We're still tight. We call ourselves Electrosonics. So that's another moniker that we do. And we released music on our own label. We did remix work with Curtis label, The Quirk. We did remix work for the labels in Miami and different record labels in Europe called Ice Media. So we did a few things together, and Dubshine did his thing. Electrosonics did its thing. The sounds are kind of similar, but Electrosonics is more EDM, faster, harder, really hard driving. Dubshine, I would say, is maybe a little more laid back, jazzy, progressive. It's sort of like that, and yeah. And so when me and Curtis, we're not really releasing that much music anymore. I think the last thing we did was about 2 years ago. We were just releasing EPs just every month, sending them to the DJ record pools, getting play. Nothing was really catching on, to be honest with you, with that. So we kind of sort of just fizzled on that one. But I said, I need some more inspiration. I need something that can really inspire me. So what I did is I went and bought myself a new studio. I just revamped everything. I'm like, I'm stepping away from the computer, and I'm just going to buy this old hardware, like back in the 80s and 90s, the drum machines, the keyboards, the 8-track mixer, the whole 9 yards, 12-track mixer is what I have. And I said, you know what, this is going to inspire me to make different sounds and different stuff. So got that stuff together, and I said, I'm just going to put this stuff out on my own. And so I did the Collapse Reality. I'm now putting out a new album that's coming out next week called The Underground. And it's really, it took a lot of time to put that thing together. This album is all hardware, all my new hardware. This is the thing that fascinates me, Mike, is that what used to fascinate me as a kid is when you could do the MIDI. You could sync all your equipment together, push a button, and your arrangements, you could just arrange it on the fly. It was just so cool. No one take was alike. You could just get into the feel of it. All your instruments are sort of playing like a little orchestra. And here you are, a one-man band, just mixing things together. You're dropping in and out on your mixing board, blah, blah, blah. Changing your pattern, your drum patterns up. Doing really creative stuff on the fly. Filter effects, all these sort of things. Gives it a more live feel, like a more moving, what's the word? Sort of a dynamic feel. It's not so loopy and repetitive. You're always doing something because you're just there having fun. And so it's building and building and building,
I think what you're talking about. I'm sure the word will come up later as well too. And I also thought about this one, so going to flashback, that you also have the Moog synthesizer and Mellotrons. It's like you're programming a few things, just go on and on and on. So it's just like, I wouldn't mind making a comeback, the Mellotron. So
yeah, absolutely. All those analog sort of synth sounds, those synth engines are really cool. I mean, they really give you a thick sound, and like I said, it's dynamic, so you're constantly building and you're constantly doing little things here and there to give it that you don't really do in a DAW necessarily. Those things are kind of, you're just polishing things up after, and it's sort of boring, to be quite honest. And I think with my music, it just became a little stale, in my opinion. Like I started thinking, this is so kind of repetitive. It's sort of, it's not really, something's missing. And what was missing was the inspiration, just the cold inspiration. That's really what it was, the raw inspiration. And so, yeah, I've stepped it up. I've started putting out the Collapse 2 EPs, the album Collapse 2, the album. And these things have been selling like more than when I was working with labels, like just on minimal promotion. Like I'm just promoting on my social media here and there. And I'm constantly seeing downloads and streams and things like this. And I'm like, now I get it. The key is you can put this stuff out yourself and you can just promote it yourself, but the music quality has to be good. You have to really focus in on quality, not quantity. You're not trying to meet some record label's expectation and trying to churn them out like the flavor of the month. That kills it for me.
It sounds like back in the day where it's like you had the old record labels like, Columbia and Warner Brothers and RCA. It's like they're always focused on sales. Nowadays, it's like it's all about streams. It's all about quality. It's almost like, there's no such thing as number one. It's almost like you be your own number one and encourage everyone else to be number one. It's no longer a cutthroat business. You encourage everybody to be, number ones. And if you guys are both number ones, you support each other with love, not like that.
Absolutely. Put your heart in it. The way I'm trying to look at it is, this is my gift to the world. This is my gift. This is what I want to bless you with. Like, not look at it like I'm trying to make a hit. If you could really just go in and make a hit, we'd have trillions of hits. I don't think that's what it is. I think what I want to do is just focus on making good music, and the hits will come. If they're going to come, they're going to come. But the great thing for me, the attitude that I have, is just be passionate regardless. If it's just to put your music out and make it in your bedroom or make it in your studio and put it out, as long as you're having fun and it's giving you an outlet and it's something you love doing, that's all that's really important at the end of the day for me.
And certainly as well too. And you also have a brand new release called Up to Us. We'll talk about that in just a minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the multi-talented DJ, producer, artist, and performer Scott Williamson after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the amazing, multi-talented Scott Williamson here on the Mike Wagner Show, best known as Dubshine, DJ, producer, artist, and performer. You also have a brand new album along with the title track, Up to Us, which is out right now. And tell us more about that and what inspired you to make it.
Oh, wonderful. So Curtis Urbina, with Quark Records, he knew Mike Greenlee, who is a great songwriter. He's won Grammys in the past, and I didn't know him personally. I could read about him on Wikipedia. I knew who he was, but I had no idea what it meant when Curtis says, yeah, I could get you in touch with Mike Greenlee. He actually came to me and I played him some of your stuff. He's looking to make another Grammy. He wants to win a Grammy. That's his whole thing, but he needs a producer to work with, somebody. So I said, look, I've got my guy Dubshine over in LA, and he's looking for a project. He's always looking to do stuff. Maybe you guys can talk. And so we got on the phone, we talked, we decided we were going to work together. And I just sent him tracks, stuff that I'd been working on that I hadn't released yet. Because I'm always making music daily anyway. So I sent him everything I had. And before you know it, he's writing these wonderful songs, really positive, sort of social conscious songs, as well as sort of love type songs. It is whatever's positive is going to come out of Mike. And I was all for it. I was like, yeah, this is really cool. I can really resonate with that idea. We finally found Deborah Magone, who's a wonderful singer, performer, just a great voice to add to that project. We had Audrey Martels, who was also a co-writer with a lot of these songs, another great, fascinating Grammy Award winning writer as well. So she contributed to the project. So the three of us or the four of us, we all just contributed to this package, and we were like, we're going to do it. And so, Mike, we finally got it, released through a record label, not a really huge record label to speak of, just an outlet so that we could be on the Grammy ballot. We just had to have it commercially released. And it did pretty good. I mean, it didn't really win a Grammy at the time, but we did, put it there, got nominated to be on the ballot. And I'm proud of the work. Like I said, it's a very positive record. A lot of people like it. It sells. A lot of people stream it. A lot of people have even downloaded the record. So, yeah. And so that's how that came about. And that's what's going on with that. And it's Up to Us is one of the name of the singles, one of the name of the album. Please go out and check it out if you like positive music with a nice upbeat dance flavor. By all means, check it out.
We certainly will do so. And where else can we find your other works at besides Up to Us?
So any of your favorite musical outlets like iTunes, Amazon, what have you. All my music is distributed all over the place. Spotify, you can follow me on Spotify. Just look for Dubshine. You can maybe plug in the name of one of the records and you can find me. The thing about the music industry, it's so saturated. There's so many people with songs that sound that have the same titles, artists that have the same titles. To really find me among the people out there, you could just search like Dubshine and then a name of the song like The Underground or Collapse to Reality. Anything like that, Collapse Reality 2. All of you, just you can find me. I'm there. I've got tons of music.
And certainly will do so. And I'm going to go through those tonight one by one with you, Scott. So cool. We're here with Scott Williamson, DJ, producer, and performer here on the Mike Wagner Show with Up to Us and more. And just a few more things here, Scott. What else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond? Okay, so now I'm doing a podcast. This channel it's a YouTube channel called Electrolive. And so far I've recorded about 8 interviews. What I do is I speak to some of my favorite veteran artists. Like I've interviewed Man Parrish, like I mentioned before, huge electro artist. Interviewed him, was fascinating. Interviewed 95 North, who I knew back in the 90s were big house music artists. Interviewed them. The reason I do that is I just want to pay homage to those who really help shape the culture of hip hop and dance music. So you can find me there, Electrolive, and it's all about that, paying homage to the greats and also up and coming new artists. So if you're a new artist and you've got music and you want to promote it, hit me up, man. I will interview you. I'll promote you. I'll link all your stuff in the descripts and everything. So here I am. So that's the other thing that I'm doing, along with releasing more music. And then how do people get in touch with you when it comes to being on your show?
So you can catch me at either electrolive@gmail.com or dubshinemusic@gmail.com.
Okay. We certainly will check that out. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I would say Arthur Baker, to be quite honest. Arthur Baker and Man Parrish. Those two artists. Not really sure who's the biggest one, but it's a really tough one because those two guys produced records that I really loved and got me started to begin with. Those two artists, those two producers, rather.
Okay, that's really amazing. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Just go with what you feel, go with your heart, feel, if you, don't try to sell out into something you're not really feeling passionate about. Passion is everything. And that's with your work, whether you're just a job, like find a job that you love to do, that you feel passionate about. You'll never be good at it and you'll never be happy with it if you don't love it and are passionate about it. But if you're passionate and you love what you do and you're going to get good at it, you're going to become a master, and then you're going to love it and you're going to be proud of yourself and you're going to be successful, at whatever it is that you're passionate about. So that's what it is. Discover, look inside, discover about yourself. What is it that you want to do? musically, stick with what you love and just master that stuff.
That is great advice. And I got to say this, that I'll see you at the top when it comes to your new podcast. So we'll do that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm going to learn a lot from yourself.
Sounds good. We'll talk about that as well, too, when we're done. We're here with the amazing Scott Williamson here on the Mike Wagner Show, best known as Dubshine. Scott, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or check out your music?
Perfect. Thank you so much. Again, huge honor being here.
And your website and how they contact you.
Okay. So again, you can find me at dubshine.bandcamp.com. That's one good place. That's where I'm putting all my music up at. If you don't want to go through these different outlets, you can go direct there. You can go to my Facebook page, which is Facebook Scott Williamson. You'll find me there. Dubshine Music Facebook, I have that as well. And again, my good email address to catch me at would be dubshinemusic@gmail.com. You can please reach out if you want to be on an interview, if you want to do, you need remix work, or you need to collaborate with me or do anything like that. Here I am. I'm totally open-minded.
We certainly will do so. We'll have people check you out. Once again, Scott, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. And we definitely wish you all the best. And Scott, you've got a great future ahead of you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.